You uncle.
How was your day, Subaya? Ayo, what did you say?
If I don't want to say hi to you, uncle.
You want say hi to me, yo. If you don't say hi to me, while I go day. You have already even said hi to me earlier on today. So if you don't say hi to me, I'm not even bothered. Um, Mowo, I don't know. Are you here? Can you hear us? How are
Yes,
you
I can
doing?
hear you. Hi, good evening.
Oh, hi. Good evening. So nice to have you here. How's your day?
Very well.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
How's your day?
Oh, my day was hectic, but it was fine.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, it's fine. Hi, Abdul. Welcome. Okay, I've said hi to everybody. I will just wait for some more people to join. Then we'll start. Yeah. Talk to you guys soon. Bye. Okay, no bye. I'm not leaving. No, like bye. I will stop talking. That's the bye I'm talking about. Your eyes, I miss you when I don't know why. I get mesmerized when I see you when I don't know why. Your voice, the sound pulls me in. I don't know how. I want you here. Wanna show you love and care. Oh, this boy thinks that you fine. I get another boy with fine past you. This girl thinks that you fine. I get another girl with fine past you. Oh, this boy thinks that you fine. I get another boy with fine past you. This girl thinks that you fine. I get another girl with fine past you. You gotta dig and dig, you gotta pause. You gotta walk and do the you gotta pause. You gotta dig and dig, you gotta pause. You gotta pause. You gotta dig and dig, you gotta pause. You gotta walk and do the you gotta pause. You gotta dig and dig, you gotta pause. How you like to act like you be I know sunshine nigga. I want you to fuck like you be king. Gotta shine. Hello to all the people just joining. Hi, good evening. How's our day? We are giving room for more people to join. So we'll be starting by 10 past 8. That's in about 3 minutes time. Yeah, so just chill and relax and wait and have fun. Okay. Um, I believe we have enough people on this call to start so that we don't spend so much time here today. Um, Hello everyone. I'm going to just briefly introduce myself again. My name is Kelechi. Yeah, my name is Kelechi, and then this is a CV review section, a CV clinic. Yeah, hosted by I4G. I4G stands for Ingressive For Good. This is the Abuja City Circle. Yeah, that is who we are here. In case you don't know who we are or what we do, we are a non-governmental organization that um offer tech support. We are a tech community that helps equip people with knowledge and then interact with people and just foster growth and communication. You know what a community is. That's what we do here in a nutshell. um Muhammad Ali will be speaking to us today, and then I'll be handing over to him. Everybody say hi to Muhammad. Clap for, let me even clap. Mohammed, the floor is yours.
Kelechi's topic. All right, good evening, everyone. So today we'll take a rather different route. The usual route is coming here to present a boring slide and everyone just listens and all. But today would someone amongst us would give us their CV, then we'll look at it and see how we can make it better. Then I'll explain why we are doing what we are doing on each of those CV, on the CV, and why it's important. So at this moment, I would like to ask, is there anyone that would like to volunteer and send their CV in? Anyone? You can mute your mic if you're here and you want to.
Nobody wants to send in their CV. Let me go and dig my own from where I hid it and come and send it so that they'll help me tweak it. Maybe I'll get one multi-million dollar, job. Let me go and dig my CV. I'm coming.
All right, I'm waiting.
Sure, I can bring my own.
Nah. So before then, can anyone tell us what they know about CV and why we think we write CVs and submit CVs to organizations? Anyone? You can unmute.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. My. So it's a comprehensive outline of your work experience. So it's a way for companies to get know about you and what you've done, your history, what it's like before they actually get to meet you. It also enables them make a decision about whether or not to meet you in person. That's what I think.
Okay. Sumaya, please give edit permission to the document. Thank you very much, Mo. Is it Mo?
More.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Any other person with another view?
I sorry, can I go on?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good evening everyone. I see a CV as a summary of what you are and like something that tells people who that personality is, your skill set and experiences, what they should expect in that person or that personality.
Oh, okay. Any other person?
Okay, yeah. So to me, like I said earlier on, your CV is like your elevator pitch. It's like um your first impression or the first impression you give to people. But in this case, it's like the first impression you give to your employer. You get that is going to employ you, a person that is going to um pay you for a service. You need to tell the person that okay, I have experience, I have knowledge, I have idea, I've worked on this tax, and then you can't just keep going on and on. So your CV is like a well put together document that just shows all your experiences, your knowledge, your expertise that helps you sell yourself. That's what a CV is to me.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Everyone is pretty correct. Your CV is basically that document that tells me what to expect, that tells me this is the best you have to offer my organization. That's coming from an employer perspective. As someone who is seeking employment, your CV is basically something that tells an employer what you have, like the best you can do. It's also a way to it's basically a way to communicate what you can do. So I'll be sharing my screen now. I'll be sharing Sumaya's CV, and I would like her to unmute her mic as we'll be we'll be going back and forth. I'll be asking her a few questions so that I'll be asking questions and explaining why we are going to be having some edits on our CV. So, Sumaya, the first question I have for you is this CV, is it to seek for an employment or for graduate school, or you just want to document what you've done so far?
It's actually to seek for employment.
Okay, what organization are you looking to seek employment in? What kind of organization?
Um, any organization, because the role is mainly for a social media manager, which any organization can hire. So it's not specific to one organization.
Okay, so basically this CV is a social media managers of a prospective media manager CV, yeah?
Yes, please.
All right, so looking at your first paragraph, there are what we call cliche words. We know what cliche is. They are just overused, some kind of overused words. So here you are very confident in accepting challenges. You're resourceful. You're knowledgeable. Of course, when I go through your CV, I should know if you're resourceful and knowledgeable. So for me, this might be like a red. Then you're proactive, energetic, and disciplined. You're seeking to utilize and develop your skill and expertise to contribute in organizational growth. So basically, this whole paragraph do not pass for me. I'll tell you why, but before then, I'd like to ask another question. So my other question is, do you have prior work experience? Hello, Sumaya. You might want to keep your mic unmuted.
Yeah, sorry, I had some network issues, but I think I'm good now. Yes.
Okay, so you have previous work experience, yeah?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes. Yes, I do.
All right. So I'm going to look for I'm going to ask us now. I will need someone to volunteer to be an employer. Anyone who wants to volunteer for that. Mr. Luem.
Mr. Labi has volunteered.
Okay, we are picking you.
Me or Mr. Labi?
You. So we are picking both of you and Mr. Alabi. Now, Mr. Alabi, as an employer, you're looking to hire a social media manager. What
Right.
are you looking? What are you looking for in the person? Is it prior work experience or the fact that the person has taken a, has taken courses or studied something related to that in school?
Okay, okay. The first thing is prior experience and the process of the delivery services. I think those are the two major things I'm going to look at.
Okay, Mr. Luem, what are those things you look at?
Okay, so if I'm to employ a social media manager, I think I will only look for three things. First is the person's tone in the CV, like is the person persuasive, and secondly, it doesn't matter if the person has a prior experience. One can learn on the job. I have that belief, and if the person has a previous experience, I'll have to check where she has worked with, the company she worked for. If she said she's a social media manager, then I'll check their social media platform, how she interacted with other people, and how she's trying to make sure that she's presenting the organization very well. And the third thing I will look at is she herself. Many people don't know. I can be able to know who you are by reading what you've written. So I'll try to understand who she is by reading through what she has in her CV. So those are the three things I would look at.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Labi and Mr. Luem. So, for me, what stood out in what both of you have said is the fact that the person have to have the experience and ability to work with other persons. And what better way to prove it than previous history, like what you've done before? I might be looking for a role as a social media manager, and I've not managed social media per se, but I've done, I would have probably done a particular, I would have been employed in a particular role that requires skills that social media managers should have. So those are transferable skills. So in this case now, what we need to have, if we must have a profile here, is your impact. You're basically selling, once you have personal profile or your career summary, you're basically telling the employer that this is like the abstract of my CV. Once you read this part, you have a glimpse of what to find in my CV. And a better way to do that is with numbers. So here you were manager for this saloon. Here you were customer service agent, uh, fashion brand manager. Now, if I were to represent this whole thing here, I would pick two words. Two words. You said you're confident, so I'd probably say I'm not, a disclaimer, I'm not very good with English. So if there's anyone who is very good with English language, you could help out once I've written out what I am trying to write out. So here I can say confident, and should I use resourceful? Okay, let's say resourceful. It's something that can change. A confident and resourceful individual with, from your prior history, I can see that you have over 3 years experience. Am I right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so with over 3 years experience in managing, okay, in customer service, fashion or brand management. Okay, so in managing people, brands, and resources. Yeah. So this is like the opening paragraph, like the first paragraph. It can be better than this, but something of this nature. Now you'd come and look at your CV as a manager here. How many people did you manage? Approximately how many persons? Hello, Sumaya. Are you still on the call?
Yes, sorry. My network is shaky. I'm trying to connect to a different network now. But yes, I'm here now. I couldn't hear you before.
All right. So I
I think the
said,
last thing I heard was the 3 years experience.
okay. In As a manager for this hair salon, how many people did you manage?
For this one, okay, about between 7 to 12 at a time.
No,
Yeah.
approximately the total sum of people you've managed.
Okay, the total sum, let's 15. 15.
15, yeah?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So as a fashion brand manager, how many people did you manage?
Uh, two. Oh, sorry, total five. Total five. Yeah.
Five, that's
Yes.
20. As a media manager with this company, how many people did you manage?
During this duration, I was working alone. I was the sole social media manager.
Okay. How about this part?
This part, one person. I was working with another person.
Okay, so let me now go back. Approximately, you've managed over 20 persons.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, effectively. Can someone give me a word to say that she has managed over 20 persons and has a conversion or a customer or employer satisfaction of 90%? Anyone? Okay, while I wait, let me just write this successfully. Okay, so what we're just trying to do is we're trying to look at what you've done in the past, and we're trying to just summarize it in a way that you are not actually lying. Although we made up this, you need to correct this to an approximate number, something you're very sure you can prove. Then we're trying to represent everything with numbers so that people see it and know that you know what you're talking about and you are able to deliver. So it's like when you want to post something on social media, you you hardly find people going to a place that is very dirty to post to snap and post on social media. So basically, that's what you're trying to do here. Don't forget, we've not touched the top part here. We're just trying to go through the summary first. So I haven't done this. Would look at your CV again and would see other things that you can actually add there. So here, this is what you have. So I can see here that this is like an international role. Am I right?
Yes, it's my BSc.
Okay, your BSc was not in Nigeria.
Yes, that's correct.
So you as a manager in this salon was in Hungary, not in
Yes,
Nigeria. Yes,
yes.
so successfully managed over 20 international. Okay, so this is like you just trying to represent all this in a way that it makes sense. So let me just change the color of this guy. Um, it's best you have two paragraph at most. My recommendation is one paragraph, highest 5 lines. You shouldn't have more than 5 lines, and it should be short. Like this is a very short one. This is another one, just something like this. So let's assume we are okay with this. You would now state the kind of thing, the kind of opportunities you're looking for, and how you can contribute to those opportunity. Um, so, Mr. Alabi, are you here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still with you.
All right. So, looking at what we have currently, is this something you'd look for in a prospective social media manager for your organization?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Because
Okay.
it
So,
has
what would you say
summarized.
is missing now?
Pardon?
What would you say is missing from what we have?
So now it's not really what's missing, but more of the industry that she has worked with. So the first thing is going to be like, she has worked for international brand and the fashion. So now my next thing I would like to see is, will this person be fit into my own industry? Will this person be able to deliver in my own industry? Which I believe, if I keep going down, I'm going to see. So I feel it's not maybe what's missing right now, but what other information can I see?
Okay. Thank you very much. So, Kelechi, you're raising your hand.
Okay, yeah. I was raising my hand the time you said someone that knows how to speak the English should translate this for you or something. And then I wanted to say, for me, English is not my first language, and I believe it's not most of us first language here. So if at the end of the session and nobody has been able to speak the grammar for us, I suggest Sumaya, you use Quillbox. Okay, Quillbox is an app that is a paraphrasing app, so you can use Quillbox to get to know how to shape the English. You just copy and paste there. It rephrases it for you, and then you post it on your CV. I believe that will help you with English.
All right. Thank you very much. So basically, she's just trying to say that you can use Qbot and Grammarly to correct the grammar and possibly spelling errors that might be there. So, Mr. Luem, can you tell us what you'd add to this if you were to employ someone with a social media role for a social media role? Sorry. Yeah, Sumaya, you can mute and talk.
Okay, so I just have a quick question. Does it mean that one has to create CVs for different job roles they're applying for? Because social media management is just one of my what I say skills under digital marketing. So I actually had different CVs similar to this, but different CVs for different roles. But I want to confirm if that's correct.
Okay, so if I am hiring you for a social media role, we'll actually get to that when we go to subsequent section of your CV. If I'm hiring you for a particular role and you you have, let's say you've done that role for once and you have other ones for like 3 times, I would not pick you for the role because it shows that you are not an expert in it. So that's why the it's always advisable to have a role, and yeah, you have just, if it's social media management, just have it around. If it's anything, just make sure that it shows that that's your strength. So
Okay,
Just
okay.
quickly add
Thank
to
you.
that.
okay, go ahead, please.
Briefly. So I just feel maybe why I said that wasn't because from my own perspective, I just feel it's going to help me quickly in terms of filtering who is going to be best fit. That if you have maybe a couple of other people on queue, so it just help you filter who is going to be of best fit at that moment in terms of filtering. So if you have like 5 of them, after having like perfect CV, then you literally want to go. For me personally, I'll just say, this person already have experience in my own industry. Let me just go with this person. So that's why I came up with that perspective.
Yeah, I get you. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'll leave Sumaya to complete this section, and I'll take this off. So here now you have skills summary. Firstly, you're applying for a social media role. You you need to have your experience come first because you've done something in those roles before. You've been a social media manager before now. So you need that to appear first. Secondly, all out of all these skills, saying Microsoft skills and computer skills is like saying um, you can cook, you can cook Indomie. Like saying you can cook alone means you can cook a number of dishes. It can just be just one anyway, but repeat, it's like you are repeating, it's redundant, and it's redundancy. Now you said deep understanding of various social media management and marketing tools. There's no need for deep understanding of, it's just like he's saying, okay, oh, just so that you believe what I said, you're trying to add things that might not be there, and it still makes sense. um So what you do basically is identify skills that are social media management skills that you have, and you pick them out. It's expected that as a social media manager, you have computer skills, social media management tools, and marketing tools. What are those tools? So let me not waste time here. We'll get to this. Let me just come down here. Instead of career history, you can have professional experience. Have professional experience, then you can now have the name of the organization and where the organization is located. So some persons use table to make sure it's straight. Some persons just do it straight up. So here you said this is the name of the organization, right?
Yes, please.
All right, let me just copy it from a template and just put in here so you can just edit. Yeah, so one thing you want to do is make sure that your font is the same thing all through. Might not be the same size, but let's let's leave it at this first. So here you worked for this organization. Okay, and the organization is in Hungary. You worked as a social, is it a social media manager or manager? This is salon. You were managing a salon.
Yes, I was managing the beauticians.
Okay, so how many social media, how many times have you done social media management? That's here or digital marketing. I can say digital marketing here.
Yes, so social media management is 3 times. So I've worked with one organization 2 times. I'm sure you would notice. But yeah, I started with digital marketing, then I branched or actually niched into social media management later on. And I think I've worked with about 4 organizations. That's if I've included everything.
Okay, so I can see three here. I'm just going to move them to the top here so that it's easy to pick from there. What our advice is to have three roles, like three organization or three different roles you've worked in in an organization. So here you have digital marketing. Um, the reason why I would not want to continue with the beauty salon is it's not directly related. It just shows one component that you can manage people. So here, this company, this is the name of the company, yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. So we have this in Abuja, Nigeria. You can shorten it to NG, you can write it in full. You work as a digital marketer and customer service representative, which you have here from which year to which year. So some persons use month and year, some other persons use just the year. I am a fan of months and year. Okay, so here you did this in 2020. So this is where your font size comes in, where you need to work on what your font size would be. We'll talk on that one later. So here now, you you work till May 2020. So May 2020. Then here you were responsible for social media accounts and customer relations of the company, blah blah blah. What you have here does not say what you've done there. It just says what you were responsible for. So what exactly did you do there?
Um, I created a referral program,
Okay.
and I worked with the engineers, the software developers to create a landing page to help market the referral program. And of course, I was in charge of customer service, so I communicated with the customers, took orders, and yeah, processed orders, and yeah, worked with the engineers and the graphic designer.
Okay, so let's take it one after the other. You created a referral program, yeah?
Yes, please.
The referral program you created, how many persons refer other persons? Like how many persons, how many leads were you able to generate from there?
Oh, I can't remember totally, but I know
Approximately.
it was over 200 because we ran it for about 2 months. Yeah. And but it was yeah, there was some kind of screening. So it's not everybody, it wasn't open to everybody. It was open to specific type of target markets. So among those people, about 200 people. Yeah.
Okay, so the 200 leads that you got, what exactly did they do? Like what was their impact to the organization?
So they actually helped us to get customers because the company is a printing company, a design and printing company, and the people that most of the people that referred us to. Most of these that participated in the program rather referred us to our target clients. So we wanted to create a program in a way that our target clients can participate, but also people can refer us to our target clients. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not so clear with that particular explanation. So I'm just going to stop that here. So aside the referral, this you last. Now, this particular one I'm trying to write might make sense to us now, but it doesn't make sense to me as I'm writing it anyway. With you liaise with the software engineering team to do the development and all that. That's what I want to say. But I want to say it in a way that it starts strong. Liaising with a particular set of person is not, the word liars is not a very strong verb. So you want to always start with a very, very strong verb when you are describing what you did. So I'm just going to have it like this first, then you'd probably look for someone who studied English and can help you better. So last with a team of how many software engineers did you work with?
Two, front end and back end.
Two software engineers to build a landing page for the referral. The management of the organization, what was their satisfaction level?
They were they were satisfied because before me they didn't have any digital marketer. I think the admin officer was the one that was handling anything relating to marketing. So they were quite happy with the program because of the conversion rate. And yeah,
So
that,
I'm just putting this as an example. It's you what we basically doing is using metrics to present what you've done. It can be satisfaction, it can be return on investment. Just look at something that is actual. You're going to revisit the CV, and once you do, you are going to impute the actual numbers for yourself.
okay.
So yeah, you you can see now that it starts to make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
This also tells us one thing. Whenever we are in an organization, we need to be deliberate. We need to know the metrics we are being measured against. We need to know what benefits we are to the how we are impacting the organization. How does my contribution to an organization increase its return on investment? How does it increase the organization's revenue? How does it lead to customer success and all those other things? We need to be deliberate on those things. So what's the third one? You mentioned about four things. You
Yeah, I
designed
also
a
work.
program, you worked with software engineer thing, the software engineering team. You did what
Um,
other
okay, yes. Then the working with the graphic designers to process orders, customer orders.
customer order?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Uh, Okay, so estimated number of customer order that was processed.
Ooh, I I don't know. I'm not sure. Um, can I just give a can I guess?
Estimate for now.
Let's say 50 plus. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
does it mean they did one design per client or more than one design?
No, no, more than one. One client could want different products, different
So
designs.
it's safe to say 100 or 150?
Even more than that, because one client can have like 10 designs sometimes.
Okay, just give me a number. Just give me a number.
Okay, 200.
They all accepted it with a good satisfaction, like they were satisfied with the designs they got.
Yes, yes. So of course there were sometimes there'll be issues with delays and things like that, and I'll have to kind of will I say calm the customers down. So because sometimes after the designs are ready, it gets them printed on time. Sometimes I have issues with the printers.
Okay, so I'll just stop here. As I believe you already understand what we're trying to do with this particular role.
Yes, I do.
And I also believe that you can do same for the other ones. All you need to do is copy this, paste it, and edit. So now the other thing might be your education, might be your skills, depending on what you want to put next. So my advice for your professional experience is you have three. You have three or four, or minimally three. Advisably, you just have three. Three is the best, showing experiences you have in that particular area. So, what I'll take next is your education. So basically, I'll just copy this. Uh, okay, you would need to use this here. So I'll just bring it down here and call this education. Mind you, are not using red. I'm just using that to show you areas we've worked on. So, what's the name of the school you went to?
Sorry, could you zoom in a bit?
What's the name of the school you went to?
University of the Basin, Hungry that.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Mm,
Is it better
okay,
now?
this is better. This is better.
Yeah, so the name of the university is in Hungary. So, what did you study there?
Computer science.
Okay. Studied computer science, you input the dates, just marking this red so that you know that something is missing. You don't need to write anything there. This is what you did. You studied computer science, and except if you graduated with a first class, probably with a 5.0, 4.9 something, 4.7 something, you can decide to now add that there. So let's assume you graduated with a first class, put grade 4.7 on a scale of 5.0. So it's like I have questions there. Okay, you're raising your hand, Sumaya.
Yes, please. So the school I went to, they don't grade by first class, second class. It's just grade out of five. So they tell you you got a four, you got a five. So when you graduated from a school like that, how do you now record that because most people presume that it's like first class, second class
Okay,
as well.
so this is it. As an employer, mostly employers are looking for competence, not your certificates. Gone are the times when people are looking for certificates. They're looking for competence. Now, if you are to pull your grade, if you observe, I did not mention 3.0 out of 5.0. Yeah, this is because that particular grade might affect the person if an organization had made up their mind on what they want from a client, from an employee. So if in your own case it's 4 out of 5, like whatever grading system they use, you put it there. Or if you are seeking an employment in Nigeria, you might put it there and convert it to the Nigerian grading system. So you only use your grade when you are sure, like when you have a when you're in first class or 2-1, and even the 2-1 has to be a very strong one. I don't know if uh, we understand that.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so any questions so far? Okay, so here, any question? So it depends on these other ones. These are like the major one, the major thing you want to have. You want to have these as career summary, and this you might want to remove this, or you might want to properly format it. So here your skills, this is where you put your skills on different level. Tools, what tools do you use? You list the tools. The So you list the tools you use here. If this is 14, you might want this to be 12. You list the tools you use. Um, Languages is another thing. So all these are dependent on the organization's what the organization is looking for. Um, yes, skills, tools. Anyone who wants to suggest other things we should add here? Yeah, so you want to have certification here. You just list briefly a few of the certification, digital marketing, uh, from Google 2022, for example. This is an example. So with this now, you observe that you've removed everything you have here and you've rewritten them in an impact-driven way. Then at the top here, you can have it the way you have it here. You can have it as this, it's a comma here, and your name would now be in sentence case. So it depends on you. Here you want to show your address, your phone number. You also want to tell people what it is. You tell them address, you put in the address. Your address can be Aso Rock, Abuja.
Aso Rock.
You change it to what it is. So your email. Now, if you've been building your, if you're a social media manager, for example, any whichever role it is, if you've been building your portfolio, you can have your LinkedIn and just make it a clickable, just make the text clickable and all. Yeah, so at this juncture, I want to pause and take questions. Yeah, please, if you have questions, you can ask now.
Okay, so does the duration you've worked in an organization matter?
It depends. If you are doing Ajala travel and I am an employer, I would have to consider it very well before selecting you. Because what will come to my mind is, will this person stay if I employ them? So it's one reason why, except if I see that the locations are different location in different cities, then I might want to. Oh, Ajala travel means someone who travels a lot. That means in this context, what I mean is the person is moving from one road to the other. The person stays 1 month, 2 months, and before you know it, the person has moved to another company, the same role, different company, or different rules, different company. It means the person cannot stay in the organization for long, and I don't want to invest in someone and see another person utilizing my investments. I don't know if you get it. Yeah, so basically, that's what your CV should be. It should show impact, it should show what you've done, not what you are responsible for, not what the HR says they want to see. Because sometimes some person will just go to a website, the HR wants a social media manager, and they've been social media manager in a particular place before. They will just put in exactly what the social media manager wants. Yeah, so I'll pause here and take questions.
There's a question. Somebody raised his hand. Onyekonsola raised her hand.
All right, thank you so much. I don't know, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and
Yeah, I
clear.
can hear you.
Oh, thank you. So I was going to ask that what is the best way to present this in your CV so that you are sure you are not other people that you are not, because to me, from my own personal experience, I saw that it happens that some people may feel that you probably are you have overread, and probably you could become I don't know whether I should say a threat, or maybe you may not they may not really, I don't know what reasons, but you may not just get to be employed. What I mean is that, for instance, maybe for a kind of job like that, probably customer service relation, what's the customer service, what's it called now, manager or relationship manager, something like that. And then you have a BSc, you have masters probably two, and then you are doing PhD. You understand? And should you just be silent about all those ones and probably pick the one that is most relevant in your CV, so that is it the best, so that maybe later if you not get to find out, it's not like you are lying now. And okay, you are putting it there. It's not as if you are doing as if you are overqualified again. That kind of a
Okay,
that is being
so
advertised. I don't
I
know whether
might
you get
have
my question.
my opinion is relative. What's my response to that is an opinion. So my opinion is, at the moment we have a lot of openings, although most openings are, like, research has shown that about 70% of jobs get filled by referral. Um, the other ones are advertised are like, let's say, less than 10%, and some things like that. So for me, my belief is that anyone that is not selecting you because they feel you are like you are a threat to them as an hiring manager, or a manager in the company or something like that, someone who will be managing you and is feeling threatened by you, it's basically because the person has not upskilled. That shouldn't be your worry. Your worry should be getting better opportunities. So if you have a master's, uh, Yoruba is what I know how to use for something like this. If you have a master's, you struggled for it, not struggle, but you put in the work to get it. If you have a PhD, the same thing. You put it in your CV. Like, it's if you are hired as an undergrad, what you will be paid if you are being paid 300,000, for example, as an undergraduate, or as a recent graduate with a BSc or BTech certificate, or an MA or a BA certificate. If you are being paid 300 as a master's, as someone with masters, you are being paid like 500. As someone with PhD for similar role, you are being paid more than that. So you need to add those things. The only thing I'll say is look for similar rules that merge and apply. Once you are applying for rules, you apply for as much as you can, but you make sure your CV is well tailored towards it and it's showing your impact. Nobody would see your CV with your impact and not know that you are coming to contribute, not coming to waste their resources and time. So you should focus, you should be optimistic. Once you know what you have, you shouldn't allow someone's opinion of you being a threat stop you from putting in certain things on your CV. As long as it's not too long and you are not lying. Mind you, everything we said here, you'd observe I was asking the owner of the CV what it is. I was asking her for numbers. I was asking her for estimates that are close to what I was looking for. So your numbers should be something you can defend and should be truth. Everything you put on your CV shouldn't be a lie. Yeah, so Mowo, you've been raising your hand. Please, can you speak? So I don't know if that answers your question. The person that asked the last question.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome. So Mo, you raised your hand. Can we hear you? Okay. Any other question? Yeah, Mo, you can speak up.
Okay, thank you. Uh, Great job. My question is for someone who, okay, so for a beginner in tech industry, right? So all you're working on is even if you're working on a live project that's not gone live yet. So how do you quantify your impact? Like how do you get to your CV?
Okay. I'll answer that by asking you a few questions, representing it on our CV, then we'll delete it once you're done with that. So I can
Okay.
see Emejo, Victoria, and Sumaya raising their hands. So Victoria, please go first, then Sumaya.
Sorry, that was a mistake. Sorry.
All right, no problem. Victoria, please, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you. So, similar to the question the lady just asked, I'm concerned about someone who, okay, your work experience is not, you just transition to a specific career field and you don't have work experience in that field. Now, let me give you a more realistic example so you understand what my question is. Now, graphic designer, but um
I've worked in roles that I do both content writing and graphic design. So most times, the work experience carries a job role that is not specifically graphic design or anything design related, but it was something I executed during those roles. Right now, transitioning into product design, and in my CV, like I have to add work experience, and most of this work experience are not in line with that, with my new and my current um career path. So does it affect selection process? Does it affect being picked by recruiters? Because if they can't find any like any link apart from portfolio, I know portfolio, they will always ask for a portfolio link to your designs for them to see. But how about when they check your CV and then there's really no connection between your previous work experience and what you are applying for right now? How do someone fix that problem?
All right. So the example you use is being a graphics designer, transitioning to a product design, a graphics designer with a content writing skill or copywriting skill, or probably UX writing. There are different things, but probably you're talking about one of those things. So if that's what you mean, they are transferable skills, and as far as you are a graphics designer, you are transitioning to a product design, it means you have basic knowledge required for product design. If you can quantify that and show impact, and you can also represent, how I will represent it is, I work for you as a graphics designer. I'll represent it as graphics and content designer because I created content and I need it to reflect. And as a product designer too, in Nigeria, you might need to basically do the work of a content designer, except if the CEO or the organization you are working for understands this to the core. So in that case, you don't have an issue because you have transferable skills. As long as you have transferable skills and you've identified them well, and in your career summary, you've stated your experience and the fact that you are transferring to these skills with this experience, then you don't have an issue. It's now left for the hiring manager to pick on his or her discretion. So yeah, so back to the first question, I would need a little refresher on that question. Sorry. I think it was Mo who asked the question.
For a beginner in tech working on live yet, how do I quantify my impact on all those projects on my CV?
Okay, so give me an example of the project you're currently working on that is not live.
Or currency exchange.
Are you working as a developer or as a manager?
As a developer.
As a developer, front end or back end?
Front end.
Front end. You consume API from the back end developer, yeah?
Yes, I do.
You have an estimate of how many APIs you've consumed?
Yes.
You converted
endpoint.
You converted a UI design into a beautiful front end, into
Yes.
some.
Yeah,
I don't know
use
if you get where
script.
I'm going to.
Yeah, I get where you're coming
So
from. Yeah,
the idea is looking for the numbers wherever they
print.
go.
You said?
The idea is looking for the numbers wherever they go.
Okay.
So I was giving someone an example that if I travel from Abuja to Lagos,
Okay.
in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you that I travel from Abuja to Lagos in a day, it looks like you did not travel for long. If I now tell you that I traveled for 12 hours, you'll be like, wow, that's much. What
Yeah.
if I now converted that 12 hours to minutes?
Okay.
So in that case,
Okay.
what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make the number look big. Meanwhile, depending on how good I am with communicating with English language, I'll be able to put it in a way that I'm not lying, and you basically, so if you don't even understand English, you'll be like, wow, this person is very good. He, like the way people will just sit down, wow, this person is very good, blah blah blah. So, anyways, the key idea is the product is not live yet. You're working on the product. You can, if you don't have an NDA stopping you from mentioning the name of the project or what the project is about, then you can say what you can give a glimpse of what the project is about.
Okay. And what
I
if
don't know
I
if you
do?
get that. If you have an NDA, then
Yeah.
advisably don't put the project on um your what's it called, on your CV. That's why you need to have other pet projects that, like, you need to volunteer for some projects that you can put on your CV as an entry level person. I don't know if you get that.
Yeah. I understand. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we are supposed to work on cover letter, and at the moment, I am late for a class. So what do we do, Mr.
Hi,
Owen?
Mohammed. Sorry, someone's hand is still up. Please, let's answer her question before we move forward, please.
Okay, please. The person can unmute and ask.
Victoria.
Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. All right. He has already answered my question.
All right.
All right. So, do we still have any other question? I can take one more question. Okay. Someone's saying arrange another session for it. I am not sure what the person is trying to say, but in a nutshell, writing your CV and cover letter require you to be deliberate, and it requires you to put in your impact. It's not what you now go and copy one job description and paste. And it also requires you to be truthful. So if you know that a particular number you are putting is too high, or you are not sure what the number is, then put a number that is at a safe range. Say, for example, I did something and the number is 20, and I'm being doubtful. Instead of putting 30, I rather put 15. And because I'm not sure, I rather put a lower number than put a higher number. So I'm sure if you are on the I4G Abuja group and Mr. Luem is kind enough to share his CV, you would see his CV and see similar things. That is, if he's ready to share his CV. Mr. Luem, are you ready to do that? I'm putting you on the spot.
There's nothing in my CV. This person that has traveled to Hungary like this, me that I've not even left Abuja.
All right, so in a nutshell, your CV needs to show impact and it needs to be well tailored. You also want to avoid grammatical errors. So whenever I write my CV, what I do, whenever I write my CV for a specific purpose, what I do is I send it to someone in that industry to first look at it. Then I send it to someone who I know is good with English. Probably a person studied English and is very good. Fine, I'll send it to that person. They get it reviewed for me, and I make corrections and I send to an hiring manager. So with that, I'd say thank you for attending the session and for the questions. Should you have further questions, you can drop them on the group and I would respond to them as soon as I can. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Luem. Thank you, Kelechi.
Thank you very much, sir. So someone was suggesting that the cover letter what's it called, cover letter session, that we should organize a another session like this for it too. So I don't know if that is what we could organize or we can just do that on the WhatsApp group. I don't think that would be convenient or that will look so well. So can we organize another day for the cover letter?
Would we can discuss that much later. Maybe tomorrow we'll discuss and know the possibility of organizing soon.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, I think
Um,
we should put it open to vote, I believe. I don't know. Do you people want another section covering cover letter, or you want us to discuss it on the group? It doesn't have to be like a bulky class, okay? So I don't know, what would you rather have?
I'd prefer another session.
Same here. Another live session.
Okay, so if I would be the one to take the session, there's a caveat to it. It might have to be on a Sunday. My Monday to Sunday, my Monday to Saturday has changed from what it used to be. So it might have to be on a Sunday, and Mr. Luem would communicate that with us.
All right, sir. That would be fine. No problem. We'll look forward to it.
I still don't know why my name is finding place in every conversation.
All right, thank you everyone, and bye.
All right, thank you for
Thank
joining us.
you.
Really appreciate your time. Yeah, thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.